What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode. Now we have a special treat for you guys because we had a pretty crazy night. What happened with these crocodiles?
So I was on my way home and Ryan was sending me video after video of the female saltwater crocodile tending to the nest, digging the nest out, and honestly it looked like she was getting ready to lay. So I got here and she was already making the cavity on the nest. So she was getting ready to deposit the eggs, and you can see her over there. She's already protecting it. So we gave her half an hour, only a half an hour, guys. And by the time we got back, she had laid at least 45 eggs. We watched her drop a couple more, and we could tell she was starting to backfill everything, and that's when we took advantage of the situation. And she was still in a trance, so we hopped in there and started collecting them.
Yeah, and guys, what we say for a trance is when female crocodiles lay eggs, they kind of zone out to where you could pretty much touch their face. I mean, the big male was running right by her and she didn't react one bit. So the reason that we did that, we got in with her, is today she's being very defensive. Because we did it last night, she was out of the equation. So we didn't really have to worry about her, we just had to worry about the male. And that's where Kyle took over. We're gonna show you some footage now. It was a little dark, so we weren't able to get a whole lot of stuff, and it was just Kyle and I, so we had to really focus on the situation, not much on filming, but we'll show you that now. And guys, I stress this enough, this is one of the videos, you see what we do with these animals, do not try to replicate this. I mean, that's a 15-foot animal that came at us trying to protect that nest and kill any trespasser in there. Do not try this with any animals you see. We've been working with animals for a long time. This is one of those scenarios on our channel that if you try this, it will not end well for you. So, and
this guy is, I mean, you get a lot of crocodiles that'll just rush you, shoot out of the water and back in. Man, he is a lot like a Cuban, where he is very, very comfortable on land, and he will just keep pushing and keep pushing on land. So that's the thing, is this enclosure is a very tight space, especially for a 15-foot Australian saltwater crocodile. That is an absolute rocket ship. I mean, I think we handled the situation very well. I think we did it the right time, but it's still an extremely dangerous situation.
All right, guys, so let's check out some of the footage from last night, and then we'll also see all the eggs.
See you guys.
Orientation's fine, right?
Yep. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Well, now we're in the baby room. So like you guys saw in the Chinese alligator video, when they lay the eggs, next step with these saltwater crocodiles is to clean them up, put them in their egg box. And guys, it's about 2 o'clock in the morning.
So why do you sound so tired?
So if we're a little tired, if I'm a little tired, we just got chased by the big male salty. Now it's time to get the eggs up, and it's 2 o'clock in the morning. So let's see what we got going on. I mean, I counted 13 up on top. Look at all that goop,
Look how fresh these eggs are. So usually with her digging them back, filling the nest in, you would get rid of that. But lucky for us, we got them fresh out of the crocodile's cloaca. So as you can see how slippery they are. So I mean, they definitely come out fresh. Very, very easy. So it's almost, and the thing about these guys is they're very, very new eggs. So you don't have to worry about the orientation as much. I mean, look at that, from one egg, have the goop on it. So we're just gonna polish them off.
And guys, look, see how goopy it is for him grabbing them? When I was down there reaching underneath that female, pulling them out, they were just popping out of my hands. I was like, oh no, come here. Come here. And I just kept reaching, there's more, they kept sliding out. It was crazy, but look how white that egg gets. So obviously, fresh eggs are crystal white, but like compared to that Chinese alligator eggs.
What do you think about the Chinese alligator eggs?
I mean, they sat a little longer, so they had some dirt on them, but look at that.
So that's the thing. Hopefully the other eggs aren't going to be as goopy because Ryan put dirt on them. So hopefully it helps to get all that crud off. Because, I mean, how many eggs do you think there are, Ryan?
I'm going to guess, I'm going to go with 50. Because guys, I counted 13 up on top, but there's 2 layers of eggs here. And when I layered them in, I didn't just put them a few in there and then start putting dirt on it. I packed them full, so we're about to see. But I'm gonna go ahead and guess 50.
So no, I'm not crazy.
You seen flies?
Little flies, and they are the arch nemesis of mine to eggs. I've lost so many eggs to flies that there's a reason why I set them all up with the screens on the tubs for ventilation, just because, so there's 0 chance for bugs to get in. I just know it's a fly, so I'm just being ultra careful. So anytime I see a fly, I'll go after it and make sure at least chase it away from here. And they're not like a house fly; they're tiny little flies.
Like gnats.
Yeah, they're just like gnats.
And I mean, another thing about this, guys, is this was very spur of the moment. I mean, this tub wasn't even the one that we wanted to get ready for the flies instance on this. She built her nest this morning, and by the time that I was checking on her this night, she was starting to dig and lay her eggs, and it came on quick. I mean, we had
too quick.
Only a couple hours to prepare.
Yes, I was out of town, get in tonight, and Ryan sent me pictures on my way home that she built a nest, and that looks like she's gonna be depositing eggs. So
I was right on that one.
You were right on that one.
Called it. I mean, we've already got 4 right here.
And I mean, we probably barely broke the surface. So I mean,
yeah.
You really think it's gonna be more than the Nile? Because what was the Nile? 45?
The Nile was like 48, I want to say. But there was some that were cracked on the surface, so we didn't get to see them all.
Yeah, right.
But this, I'm gonna say 50. I'm gonna say at least 50. I mean, what's your guess?
4 eggs, and well, I was too busy protecting you. You're welcome, Ryan.
Yeah, because what were you doing when I was collecting the eggs?
Filming you?
Filming?
Yeah.
No, so guys, that enclosure where the salties are, we're not able to just pull the male out, put him to the side. He was in there with us. So one thing with crocodiles lay eggs, they kind of go into this trance where nothing bothers them. The only thing that female's focused on is depositing her eggs into the nest. So I was actually touching her. If you saw in the video right before this, my arms were completely under her, and actually after that video, I pretty much was hugging the base of her tail, trying to figure out if I had all the eggs out of the cavity. And she did not move at all, while the male was a different story.
Yeah, and I'm sure we'll post up pictures and videos where you can see the female in a trance. And that's what we did. So we went in, first assessed where the male was, because we could see she was somewhat in a trance, so we were worried about the male, obviously, because he's 15 foot. So what we were able to do is get him to one side and get in there. He went under the water, so we both went in there. We determined that she was very much in a trance. Just by moving the PVC pole around her head, she didn't react at all. So then Ryan started collecting eggs, and then I was on duty for the male. And
he was pretty easy, right? He just like ran over to the side and was like, "Oh, I'm gonna stay here." Like that's kind of how it went.
So I tapped the other side, and he rushed the fence. And once I moved, he went back in the water. Well, he popped his head down and didn't pop back up for a while. Well, when he did pop back up, he rushed us super hard, super fast. And you know, PVC pole ain't gonna stop a 15-foot croc. So I fed him the PVC pole. He grabbed it, ripped it out of my hands, and then he proceeded to throw it back at me, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, he rolled it.
Yeah, so I grabbed it again, and then he death rolled it in my hands, and then he rushed me again, and I tapped him on the snout, and he luckily went in the pond. But yeah, I mean, it's like stopping a freight train with that guy. So
it's safe enough to say he did not cooperate very well.
No. And then he was in the second pond, because there's 2 ponds in that enclosure. Just so if they're having an argument one day, they can at least get away from each other. But I got him to his feeding spot, so he was behaving. For the most part, he would rush back in the water, but then right when you tap the water, he would spin back around. He's very, very territorial, especially when his girl is nesting. So he was much more worried about me and focused on me, and then Ryan could do his thing.
I mean, guys.
Which was scream and run for his life when that male rushed the water.
So I didn't scream, but I did run for my life. So all I hear is, I'm looking down, and all I'm doing is I'm focusing one hand with the flashlight, one hand underneath the female, my eyes on the female, making sure that she doesn't snap out of that trance while I'm feeling around for the egg. And all I hear is, male's back in the water, get out! And that was all I needed.
Guys, before the crocodile hit the water, I see Ryan sprinting towards the fence and just BAM! Smacks it and it just scrambles up it. But he got it out!
Also, one thing you need to know about the fence, the reason why I was so adamant about just sprinting to it and start climbing was, one, the crocodile's fast, two, the fence is kind of flimsy. So when you jump on it, you're rocking back and forth. It's not just a nice, easy fence to climb over.
I built it myself, it's fun.
And that's why it's flimsy. So I wanted to make sure I had plenty of time to get on that fence and climb over. There's also really no poles. I mean, the wire's about that thick, guys. So that's what I had to pull myself over. So don't let him fool you. I didn't scream, but I did run.
But it was an awesome time. I'm very sorry, guys, that we didn't get to film it. It was definitely a spur of the moment. But hopefully the story doesn't, well, I'm sure the story will never do it any justice, being it with a 15-foot saltwater crocodile that rushes you. And that enclosure is very tight. You know, there's not a lot of room to walk in. I mean, when he rushed us, we had probably a foot of land between the fence and the water, just because they're always continually digging. So they dug right up to that fence, and so we didn't have much to work with. But just enough to get out.
And I know we talk about kind of the adrenaline side of it, running from the crocodiles, doing this. I mean, you did as well. We both grew up watching Steve Irwin, watching Crocodile Hunter with those big salties when he'd go in there with the nest and collect eggs. And we saw this as our moment. We've been working with crocodiles for a little bit now. Kyle has been pretty much almost his whole life working with crocodiles. Yeah. So when we see a salty laying eggs, that was an opportunity we just couldn't pass up, especially with growing up watching our hero grab the eggs too.
Yeah.
And that was
that's the
super
thing.
cool.
So the male was in the small pond, which is gives us about 15 foot of room between the nest and him, which is the bigger pond is literally a foot from the nest. So that's an extremely dangerous situation. So we were able to get him over to the smaller pond, and she was in trance. So all we had to do was really worry about him. Obviously, we never take our guard down with her, but we continually checked on her. She continually showed signs that she was staying in her trance.
So here's the second layer. So you're about to see the eggs that are packed in there. So keep in mind, this is a layer on top of another layer of eggs.
And what are we at? 1, 2, 3,
This should be
4,
13.
5, 6, 13.
13 eggs. All right. Look at all those eggs, guys. You're gonna have a lot of salties on your hand, Kyle. Well, potentially. We'll see how many of these actually hatch out.
Yeah, so I mean, they honestly, guys, they look really good. They look really, really, really good. I'm happy with them. But, you know, we'll see in a couple days that they band up. That'll be the true testament of how many fertile babies. Now again, like I was saying with the Nile crocodiles, I think they didn't have so much fertility just because their pond has become a puddle essentially just because they keep filling it in. Luckily, they're going to the new facility soon and they'll have an 8-foot deep pond there. Have plenty of space to breed, even though we don't need more Niles. But these guys I'm very, very excited about. There's a lot of zoos that are interested in saltwater crocodiles. So I think there is definitely a demand to produce these animals for a purpose, and they'll end up in good homes.
We just finished the row in the middle, so now let's count. We were at 13. Count how many are we at now? What's the count at?
22, 30, right?
30 eggs.
No, 32.
32?
Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32.
32 eggs.
32.
So now let's, oh, there goes a fly. Let's unveil the last row of eggs down there. Let's see how many are hiding behind this. There's another fly behind this mulch. Look at all those, guys.
So let's do a quick count. So we got what?
32.
33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52.
52 eggs, bro.
So if you guys are looking for a buy one, get one free,
this is not
salty,
the place.
This is the place. You've come to the right spot. Now, these guys will probably be for sale for about $25,000 a piece. They're het for albino because
you say they are?
Because I say they are.
Yes. I mean, it very well may be, very well may not be. Who knows?
Possible het. Possible het.
No, he's totally joking about that. We're not going to sell these guys. They may be made available to some facilities, some zoos and whatnot. So if you're a zoo out there looking for salties, let us know. It's going to be, what, 3 months?
Educational facility. Yeah, probably about 3 months.
Yeah.
But this is the first time I've incubated salties. I'm guessing they're probably similar to Niles. Niles I've had where they're like 90 days on the dot. So I'm guessing it's going to be a longer incubation, but we'll see.
Yeah, so let us know. Hit us up on Prairie Predators on Instagram. And if you like today's video, make sure to smash that subscribe button, hit the like, check out our merchandise, and we'll see you on the next one.
See you guys.